Hello friends, we're Lucy McConnell and Erica Penrod. We're authors and your hosts here at Angels Unscripted. This season, we're shifting gears and starting a new journey. We don't have it all figured out. We're writing and talking as we go. And we're inviting you into the stories behind the stories. We hope you'll come with us. This is season 3. Welcome to the ride.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode on Angels Unscripted. I am your host, Erica Penrod, and I am here with my good friend, co-host, co-author, all of the good stuff, Lucy McConnell.
Hello again. It's good to be here.
It is, and it's such a beautiful day outside. It's like, I just love it.
I feel like you hear this?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I have to. Okay, there's
maybe we could do it.
Okay, there. It's better. Are we better now? At least we're not whacking them together anymore.
Okay, sorry about
that.
We're back. Technical difficulties. Oh wait, those aren't technical.
I was like, well, technically it was a problem.
Technically it was a problem, that's for sure. Okay, so
today is an exciting day.
Yeah. Want to tell them what we're talking about? Sorry, my words are I'm struggling words. Okay, come on.
So last week we talked about terror barriers and how to get through a terror barrier and the tools and skills that we use to get through those when we hit them. And we had both hit terror barriers a couple days before we had filmed, so it was great timing.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that? Sometimes I think God puts things in your life so you can be like, I want you to authentically speak about this.
Yes.
So I'm going to give it to you. Even though we had hit terror
pause.
barriers
I love
before.
that you just said that, authentically, because that is the whole, as we are writing this new series together, like that has been our focus, is to bring an authentic Western story.
Yep. And now we brought authentic terror barriers.
Now I'm rubbing off on you.
I know.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, we're good. So anyway, so we talked about that last week, but we didn't really bring in a lot of the Gritstone Ranch process that we've been going through. And so this week we're going to expand a little bit. We're going to talk about some of those things, those hardships that we've hit and how we've been able to turn them into opportunities for growth and for prosperity and for a whole bunch of other things. So we hope you'll stick with us today. And by the end of today that you'll be maybe able to see your own walls that you hit as opportunities for growth. So
I love the saying or thought or quote, I don't even know, I've just heard it said in different ways, like see your challenges as opportunities. Like a successful person looks at the challenges and obstacles in their life as a stepping stone or an opportunity. And while I think sometimes I'm headed that way, most of the time I'm still tripping over them hard.
No. Well, they pop up and then you're like,
Okay. So going back to building this Gritstone Ranch series together, we let's see, how many months has it been that we started putting this series together, and how many changes have we made?
How many walls have we hit that we've had to climb over? I've lost track.
I know. But the great thing is that every time we hit a wall or an obstacle, we are able to kind of course correct, which we've talked about that before in previous episodes, that's how the spaceship gets to space, is course correction.
Continual course correction.
And so I feel like we're doing that. And so the better we get at accepting like these challenges and things as good things, it will be great. So I'm not there yet.
I know.
So,
I'm still can I just say we're stronger when we're together?
Yes,
and I will give an example of that, because last week we were doing a writing session at the library, and we were talking about Gritstone Ranch, and we were talking about release dates, and we were talking about getting our books written, and we were talking about the fact that there's so much overlap in the stories that has to happen, that writing 2 separate books separately was going to be difficult. And
which we've already started, you have started your book, my book's been started as well. So it's not like we're like, just at the beginning thinking
no.
like,
It was, and we realized there was going to be a difficulty. And so that was it was our trip up. It was something we were tripping over because of dates and time and all sorts of things. So as we were tripping over this, and we did so good together, I'm like, I just need I need your voice in my head when I hit the wall on my own, because I think it would be easier. But anyway, so we talked through the situation and decided to co-author our books.
Right.
Instead of individually authoring them,
I know.
we are now going to co-author.
And I'm scared. I'm excited because you've done this before with a different author
several times.
And I have not.
Yeah.
So while we've worked very close, this will be a new experience. And so I think it's going to tell the best story.
Yeah.
I think we both have some really great ideas of where we see this going and what we've already created, and putting that together. It's going to be really awesome.
Yes.
So
yeah. I see it being, there will be challenges, I'm certain of it, but because there always is when you're
because
working
that means you're doing
something with somebody.
Something great.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
For sure.
But we, like the way that we worked through it, we talked it through, we've pro and con, we did all the things, and then it was like, well, this is kind of the obvious answer at this point.
Right.
Why can't I do that by myself?
I don't know, but we had this conversation as we were talking through this episode before we started filming was, okay, what key points do we want to hit on? And one of those I thought it would be at the end, but I like it here too, is having a cheerleader.
Yeah.
It's like, and basically surrounding yourself with people who are encouraging and uplifting, and like that I feel like you and I do that for each other. We get on this vibration and we just go, and it feels good and it's exciting. And so it's, when you go home, it's like finding those people in your life to encourage you and uplift you, like hang out who you want to be like, you know? And so that's such a big thing. I think especially when you're struggling, to have people in your corner that are like, no, you got this. Like, you're doing this. You're doing so well. So,
well, okay. So if I'm a person starting at ground zero and I start looking around my life and realize that I don't have people who are like that, the number one first thing I'm going to do is change me.
Right.
I am going to go and I'm going to become that person. And I'm going to see who in my life rises with that. Right. And those are the people I'm going to spend more time with. Now, the other ones, we don't visit as often and we don't stay as long.
Yes, thank you, Bob Proctor, for that.
That's this. So it's not that you drop them. It's not that they become piranhas, and it's not any of those things.
It's not that you don't love them and care about them.
Right. It's just that you just don't visit as often and you don't stay as long because you don't want to go back to who you were, right? You want to be who you are in this new space, who is also a cheerleader, who is also somebody that's a good verbal bouncing board to give ideas and generate things. And so, so you become what you want to be and the people that you want to hang out with. And then you look for others who are like that. So as your vibration, as your energy goes up and rises to be more positive, you will attract more positive people.
That was what I was like yelling, you attract them, you attract them.
Yes.
So as you become the person that you want to be, you attract those people into your life.
Yes. So then that's a test too. And this is like really going to hit a couple people really hard, is look around your life at the people that are in it. And what have you attracted? Because sometimes it's like, oh, I brought that in. What about me brought that into my life?
Because the circumstances in your life are a
direct reflection and a result
of your thinking, your subconscious, your paradigm. Like you attracted
and
this
what
to
you believe
yourself.
About yourself. So take a look.
I don't know if I like that though. No, not that I'm like, wait, I have a pretty amazing circle of people.
You do. You did before we became aware enough to look around.
Very aware of it now.
Take a look around and then it's not pointing fingers at them and saying you're like this. It's pointing fingers at me and saying, what about me needs to change? So
I love that.
Okay, so sorry. Some of you are out there going, ooh.
Yeah.
That hurts. That hurts. That can hurt sometimes.
I know. I don't love hearing that I'm responsible for everything.
I know.
It's so much easier to blame everything else, all of my circumstances. It's like, oh, well, but that's because that happened. And then you're like, no, that's actually you.
Yep.
So, okay, so let's talk about my big challenge with Gritstone Ranch.
Yes.
It's an opportunity.
Okay,
so when we first started Angels Unscripted and Angel Institute, we had a social media manager who was beautiful and great.
Fabulous.
And we miss her every single day.
Love. Yeah. Sending so much love.
Yeah. And so we started looking for another person to replace her, and it just wasn't working for us. Like we just couldn't find, we looked and we talked to a couple people, but we just didn't feel right about it yet.
Oh, and we thought we had one, and then it slipped through, and that it just was not gelling.
And so we kind of decided, we divided and conquered a little bit, and you help manage the website and do ads and different things, and I've been focusing on the social media, which for me is not easy for me to tackle. And so while I've,
I think I could quote you.
Yes, Kate, go ahead.
Direct quote.
Oh, I'm really excited to hear this.
I think, I'm trying to remember how you said it. Like, I think something about wanting to throw up or something like it makes me nauseous or something like that. Like, social media makes me so scared I'm nauseous or something like that. Like, there was something along that line. Like, there was a physical reaction to social media.
Well, that would be like spot on for me because...
Oh, I wish I'd written that down.
Yeah, when you find it, I would like to know.
Okay.
Anyhow, I've always been... not always been. I got on social media because of being an author.
Right.
Like, that's not something I naturally want to do. And so I've been and had some small presence on social media. Yeah. But with Gritstone Ranch and the way that media, marketing all work nowadays, you've got to be on there.
You have to be on social
That's how
media.
you have to reach these younger readers, which is also a goal of ours. We want to reach a younger audience with Gritstone Ranch, and so we're focusing on that. Now, the thing that's frustrating for me is I have like 2 daughters who are in their early 20s and can do social media like it's nothing. Make videos in 30 seconds and they're beautiful.
And they post.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, that took me like 5 hours to make this 30-second thing,
I know.
So, okay.
It's innate for them.
Yeah.
It literally is
they're just
I
so
can do
used
this, no
to
problem.
it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been a challenge. And like trying to, I feel like I have tuned into, and that's where you and I have tuned into what we want to put out there.
Huge for us was establishing the brand.
Right.
It was establishing, this is what we want it to look like. This is what we want to present to people. This is, and then
the authenticity
to that the whole way through. Like that was huge to have those guidelines. I don't know what you would call them, but like the expectations for the brand.
And so each of really, I'm really struggling. Where's my chat? Where's my autocorrect? Okay, so you and I have you've been studying different things, taking different courses. I have studied like each platform, what I need to put out there. Yeah. Well, the big scary one for me is TikTok. And while TikTok is beautiful for so many people and does so many great things, and it's a way for people to really connect with what you're doing with your brand, I am struggling.
And entertain and educate and love. Like, honestly, it's a great way to show all of that too.
Right. Like, so while it seems like this big bad cloud hanging over my head,
kind of a
I know that there's like something behind it that's beautiful. Right. It's like my paradigm.
You have a paradigm about TikTok.
Like, I have tried to get into it a few times and then pulled back.
Yeah.
And then so I'm like with Gritstone Ranch, no, I am going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. And so Friday,
you're going to apply some of that grit to it?
Yes.
You're going to get going.
I'm going to apply this. I put up this video, which I thought was really great. Like, I worked on it while we were at the library. It was beautiful images and music. And I had taken some time to, like, it looked so great.
It was really good.
I put it up and they block it. I cannot figure out why they are doing this. Like, I'm like searching the guidelines, searching everything. I cannot find any reason. I am so frustrated. And I had the thought, I am not doing TikTok. I am done. Like, I am not going to do it. I will do Instagram and Facebook, and I will stay on there. But this is
obvious beyond me.
And it took my vibrations down. Like, I was like, you can't do this. Like, you can't, like I was just feeling, and then it like escalated into bigger.
Oh yeah. Because that's what it's the whirlwind, right? Yeah. It's the big thought. It's the one little thought that grows like a tornado. And next thing you know, you're spiraling all over the place. Oh I get it.
So that was me. And then my husband and I went out on a date, and I was like, okay, you gotta help me. Like, I've got to get out of this, like, talk through some of this with me, And the next morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? I think the only way, like, you asked me if I had appealed it, and I had like disagreed with it, but I hadn't sent in an actual appeal. And I was like, do I really want to do this, or should I just do a new video and get going again? Yeah.
And your girls were like, just make another video. And
so,
you're like,
okay. So I hurry and get another video together and upload it. And it got more views and more likes than any video we've done so far. So I was super excited, but it was really interesting going through this struggle in my mind with like how close I thought I came to hitting this obstacle and being like, that's not me. That's just not for me. Now, I do think there are times when we hit a wall and we say, you know what, like we said, we had to change directions. I think that happens all the time.
Yep.
It did not feel this way. I think it was just something I had to overcome.
Okay, so how do you tell the difference between a spot where you need to go around the wall kind of thing like we did and redirect, or a spot where you say, I have to get through this? Like, how do we differentiate between those two things?
I think that's where it comes to inspiration. I think that's where all of the quiet work, as we called it, like all of the work that you do every day as far as trying to learn and study and become the person you want to become, so that in those moments you can stop. And this is one thing that I think we've agreed on, is if we hit a wall, it means stop. It means pause. Pause for a second. And then I think you seek that inspiration of like, oh wait, does this mean move forward? I just got to push through this, or does this mean I need to change directions?
Yeah.
And I think that the more that we do this, the more in tune I'm getting with what direction I should take.
Yeah.
And I know for me, this social media thing is a thing that I just need to press forward. There's so many good things that happen. And I was like, oh, I had all of these book people follow us and look at our profile. And so I was like, okay, this is working.
Yeah.
There are going to be times that I'm going to hit something and I'm not going to know why.
Or how. Or what.
But I can't give up.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Well, and I think that's, like you had said something in there too about like, this is inside me that needs to change, not outside.
Oh, I like that.
Obstacles that come up. So like our writing thing, I felt like it was a little bit circumstantial. Like there was a time issue. There were like other things that were outside of us. It wasn't a feeling of inadequacy or whatever that we had hit. It was, okay, we've got this situation. We need to figure this out. And so I think you can work around or go around or pivot according to outside things fairly easily. But when it comes from inside you and you want to quit, that's especially when you have to have the spirit with you and figure out, is this a fear I have to overcome? Is this something I can learn? Is this something I can hire somebody to do? You know, what's the best way to handle what's going on inside of me? Too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So that's like just one of the many things of this world building that we're doing. And I love this because all of the things that I'm learning as we create Gritstone Ranch series apply to my own life and apply to anyone, you know, any circumstance that you're in. You can take these tools and
it just so happens that we're learning all of this while we're writing books and releasing a new series. And so that's just that's what we're doing. But no matter where somebody is, I mean, if they're trying to get a new job, if they're like all sorts of things, you know, if you're raising kids and you're like, man, I'm hitting this wall. Well, all right, let's evaluate. Yeah. Is this something that's coming from inside me? Is this an outside circumstance? How do we work around? You know, all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of different ways it can go.
Yeah. So I think the key point for me is, for one, to not beat yourself up.
Right.
If you hit that wall, you hit that terror barrier, you hit that challenge, that should be expected. Yeah. Like that means you're headed in the right direction. Right. Even if that direction changes, you're still pressing forward. Yes. And that is the beautiful thing. And even if you have to go through the wall, you're still moving forward. Right. So you want to pause and then, like you said, look and decide, is this something inside of me that I need to work with, or is this a change that needs to be made on the outside? So that's a beautiful way to look at it. So I love that. Okay, so cool. Wrap that up.
I know.
That's great.
Thank you so much for being with us here today. We're actually going to be back. We're next week, and we're here every week. We love it. It's so much fun. Yeah. So we're grateful that you're here. Please like, share, subscribe this video with your friends or anyone else that you want to share a journey with, and we'll see you next week.
See you.
Wow, we closed that one up really fast. Yeah. I was like, normally it takes us 20 minutes to shut down the podcast.
I know.